All right, so we got the fastest moving planet, Mercury and Virgo, but not the quite fastest moving planet, but the second fastest moving planet. I mean, the moon is the fastest. You can say the rising is the fastest. But when we talk about Mercury and Virgo at this perspective, for me, Mercury is home here, where it want to basically be, where it feels comfortable at looking at the details, analyzing. So it's going to be devil in the details with Mercury being a Virgo. But we also going to basically experience that retrograde within a few weeks. That's coming up as well. So it's better to have it and Virgos because you can backtrack on the pedal stools that you was pedaling to make sure you ain't get no shit on your goddamn toes or you get no shit on your feet or shit on your shoes. Cause for me, you gotta be looking at the details when you're looking at the grass. For me, you could be pretty much out there, out and about. You're not paying attention and looking at the details. That's why Virgo or Mercury, instead of telling you look at the details, don't just be walking out here barefooted or walking out here honorable. You could be walking in shit. Feel me? Now your shoes smell like shit. Now that shit could be the most attached shit in the world to the point that it's gonna take probably half an hour to get all that shit off, and the smell it will still probably be on too. I was when I was a kid. I remember I had walked into some, I walked some shit. It took my aunt almost there the whole day to get all this shit off my feet. So you want to make sure you ain't get all shit on your feet. I mean, you want to make sure your feet protected. You want to make sure you're looking at the details. Overanalyze and looking at the details. Make sure that your awareness all over the place. For me, that's me. That's mutable Earth. So you want to be putting yourself into an area and location of being mutable and adaptable, of thinking and communicating, looking at the details, and of course being in service and helping others. For me, because when you reap the benefits of this is going to be harvest season, harvestation season when it comes to looking at the details, aka seeing the areas where you're going to be basically planting those fruits, those vegetables, those corns, the maple syrup. You want to make sure you plant these in the right spectrum. That's why you can pretty much have customers Libra season where they're gonna basically buy from here, buy from there. You're gonna create relationships, you're gonna create business, you're gonna create establishments. Right? But if you playing bad seeds and shit, when during this season, then you ain't gonna have nothing to pretty much harvest. Right? You're gonna have nothing to come to grips with. Your garden Eve is gonna be very dry. For me, she can't get wet, she can't get moist, no matter how hard Adam try. Your mind, no matter how hard you feel your feelings. You don't want to put yourself into that situation. You want to make sure you're in the spectrum and the location of making sure that all the fruits and vegetables is right. So it can be juicy fruit, just like Biggie Smalls, where you can pretty much pick from the tree and eat your fruit. For me, you don't want to be eating the wrong fruits out here. For me, you don't want to get the wrong fruits, and you want to make sure you get the right fruit, the perfect fruit. You want to get that passion fruit. You want to get that dragon fruit. You want to get that orange fruit. You want the seeds in it too. You don't want no GMO shit. You want the seeds in it, the soul. I'm gonna run this down. So if you got Mercury and Virgo in your first house, you a Virgo ascendant. So that means you're gonna be pretty much putting yourself into a situation of being mutable and adaptable when it comes to thinking and communicating about the details of the devil within your personal life, or manifesting individuals. That's pretty much gonna really look at the devil and the details when it comes to your personal life, or trying to personally organize what you got going on. Now watch out. You're gonna get opposed from your seventh house, being in Neptune. Fantasy, dreams, and imaginations, which can kind of like take you off task, which make you gonna daydream all day, but of course you're gonna lack not paying attention or thinking and communicating and relating about yourself. First house, getting yourself intact. So you don't want to overindulge. You don't want to go to the extremes of losing yourself. So be aware of that. Now, if you got to see in second house, you're gonna be pretty much coming up with a new way of being mutable, adaptable, and stubborn when it comes to your own ways of thinking and communicating about the things you value, appreciate, love, and compromise with, and things that you are clinching towards too. Now, your eighth house, watch out for that. That too is going to bring some dreams and fantasies. That's going to bring some transformations on a deeper level, which can kind of like take you off the things when it comes to your one two of thinking and communicating and looking at the details and being organized when it comes to the things you value mentally. If you got this in your third house, this is going to be a learning aspect for you, which means you need to pretty much come up with a way of learning how to be mutable and adaptable and looking at the details and thinking and communicating, and of course putting those ideas and communications into practicality, which means you don't want to be in la la land, or of course airheaded. This house kind of like squares Virgo, so you want to be airheaded. You want to learn how to pretty much be airheaded, but in a practical way, aka bringing that idea and those airheaded mentalities down into the duality. Now, if you got this in your third house, you're gonna be opposed by your ninth house, aka big dreams and imaginations and fantasies, which can kind of like take you away from looking at the other sides of the details. AKA, you're gonna have dreams that's gonna bring you the bigger picture, but also you gotta bring those big dreams down to the earth, aka your third house, looking at the details aka the devil in the details, deciphering when it comes to your environment, your surroundings, or friends, or communications with them or the neighbors. You got to see your fourth house. You're gonna be placed into a circumstance situation of having to come up with a new way to have opportunities to be mutable and adaptable and thinking and communicating about home, family, and privacy. Or you're gonna be pretty much in the worrying, over worrying energies when it comes to thinking and communicating about home and family. You can pretty much be very, in this process of being very petty towards your home and family, or having these ideas or manifesting these ideas of, oh, these motherfuckers dirty, oh, this motherfucker not clean, this motherfucker not organized. Those kind of ideas, so be aware of that. Now, what's gonna take you up task, it's gonna basically be your 10th house, your status, your reputation, your goals, your responsibilities and duties, obligations, of dealing with your dreams and fantasies, and of course imaginations. Be aware of bringing these two together so you can pretty much get the polarity of it. Now, if you got to see in fifth house, you're going to be pretty much coming up with a new way to be very, expressive when it comes to being mutable and adaptable, of thinking and communicating about your gifts, your talents, your creativity, and of course the way you personally come across when it comes. Now, be aware you're going to have some opposing dreams that's going to be dealing with the things that you dream about when it comes to your associations, the things you're fixated with, and your groups and establishments. So watch out, be aware of that. Try to bring these dreams, aka associate that with your gifts and talents and your way you express yourself. Now, if you got to see in sixth house, it's going to be home and comfortable here. So that means you're going to be pretty much in a circumstance situation of having all the power and control to come up with a new way to be mutable and adaptable when it comes to your work, health, routines, responsibilities, duties, and obligations. And you're going to be coming up with a new way of worrying about these things. Now, what's going to kind of like take you off task is going to be your dreams, fantasies, imaginations, or nightmares, which is within your 12th house. So bring these nightmares with your sixth house so you can put the pieces to the puzzle and, of course, see how you can come up with a nice way of having the harvestation season go in your perspective when it comes to harvesting your mind. Now, if you got Mercury and Virgo in your seventh house, this is going to be a circumstance situation where you're going to be dealing with some ups and downs when it comes to your way of being new with your relationships and communicating about your relationships in a very adaptable way, trying to make your relationships a job or responsibility, aka 9 to 5. You're going to be pretty much having planting the wrong seeds with the wrong individuals. So come up with a new way of planting the right seeds with the individuals. Look at the details, see if this partner or this person or this relationship is correlating with your shit. This way you won't get opposed. AKA your dream is going to be about you. That's what's going to be about. So your first house. So get you a 1-2 rating before should be right. Now, if you got this, yeah, you're going to have the conjunction because that planet works in your favor. Now, if you got to see your 8th house, you're going to be coming up with a deeper, you're going to be thinking and communicating deeply about your details or worrying about your desires or your passions or how you perform in the bedroom. Now, what's going to take you up task is going to be dreams about the resources, material, and structure. So be aware of that. Bring that resource, material, and structure, or use that desire, that passion towards, getting your 1-2 right, aka harvestation. 9th house. You're going to be pretty much coming up with, you're going to be looking at the bigger picture when it comes to looking at the details, being mutable and adaptable and changeable when it comes to broad philosophies, spiritualities, meanings, and of course, purposes and experiences. It's going to take you up task. It's going to be dreams and fantasies about your environment and surroundings. You got to see in 10th house, you're going to be coming up with a new way of thinking and communicating about your status, your career, your goals, your responsibilities, your duties, your obligations, of course, how you're seen. It's going to take you up task. It's going to be dreams of familiarity about your home and family. Those dreams about you. So see how they can correlate with your 10th house and go about that way of correlating with these perspectives. Now, if you got to see 11th house, you're going to be coming up with a unique way of looking at the details and being organized when it comes to your associations, groups, and networking skills. Of course, how you perform when it comes to social media and networking. Now, if you got this, now you're going to get opposed when it comes to your romance and love affairs. And if you got this in your 12th house, you're going to be dealing with oppositions within this house, aka over thinking and communicating about your dreams, imagination, and fantasies. We're going to take you off task. It's going to be a 6th house, worrying about health,